नागालैंड 27 फरवरी 2023 को 14वीं विधानसभा के लिए तैयार है। सुदर्शन न्यूज चैनल जमीनी स्तर पर राज्य चुनाव का सर्वेक्षण करा रहा है और इसी क्रम में सुदर्शन की टीम राजनेता श्री डॉ.SC जमीर के पास पहुंची और उनसे आगामी चुनाव पर चर्चा की। बता दें कि वो नागालैंड के 4 बार मुख्यमंत्री और 4 राज्यों के राज्यपाल, राज्यसभा सांसद, लोकसभा सांसद और 1962 में जवाहरलाल नेहरू जी के द्वारा नियुक्त भारतीय संसदीय सचिव भी रह चुके हैं। हमारी संवाददाता जोजो ने उनसे बात की है। देखिए क्या बातचीत की, एक बार सुनते हैं और देखते हैं।
तो अभी हम श्री डॉ.SC जमीर से ऐसे कुछ खास बातें जानेंगे जो किसी को पता नहीं हो, और उन लोगों इनकी 55 साल की राजनीतिक में उनकी पॉलिटिकल ट्रांजैक्शनल कहाँ से कहाँ तक आया। हम छोटी छोटी बातें, कुछ बड़ी बातें सर से जानेंगे। सर, वी वुड लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम यू व्हाट इज द स्ट्राइकिंग चेंजेस बिटवीन 1964 द फर्स्ट जनरल इलेक्शन ऑफ नागालैंड एंड 2023 जनरल इलेक्शन। व्हाट इज द स्ट्राइकिंग डिफरेंस?
In 1964 election, this was the first election in Nagaland because we have boycotted 1952 election. So that time, candidates, people used to bring pigs, rice, they used to carry fuel. So it was a free and fair election. And whoever have contested, they were never landed in debt because it was a real political fair election, because it is the people who have contributed and they have elected their representatives. Even up to second, third election, whenever we contested election, people used to bring rice, then they used to carry fuel, and they used to contribute lots of things. And whatever we used to offer was, biscuits. Only biscuits. And people were happy. And those our party workers. And I can give you one example. When we were in UDF, our party workers, they used to go to Pungro, Kifri, then Topo, all this area on foot. And they used to carry only a little bit of rice, chili, salt. And they used to move on foot days together. And they used to come back only when result is out. That was the kind of commitment, dedication of our youth at that time, which you don't find. The difference today is if they had to go, they want to go by vehicle, they want pocket money, they want rum or whiskey. So the difference is in those days, election was free, fair. Political commitment was truthfulness and uprightness. Money game was not there. But today, the whole trouble of Naga politics, Naga election is totally commercialized. What determines the destiny of Naga people today? It is the money and the muscle power. And if that is the factor that determines the destiny of Naga people, what is left for the future of Naga people? As an old man who have participated in so many elections in the past, I feel so painful in my heart what had gone wrong to the honest, upright Naga people who have sacrificed so much for a better future. And now instead of building our better future, we are destroying by ourselves. And therefore it is my very sincere appeal, especially to younger generations, that the future belongs to them. And therefore, this commercialization of election should be stopped forthwith. We should bury it. Otherwise, along with this election, we are burying our own future. I think that is the greatest danger which we're facing today. And I believe, especially the younger generation, who are not yet spoiled so much, should realize that their future depends on honesty, commitment, sacrifice, hard working, but not on money or muscle power. So I wish that the difference between 1964 and 2022, 23 now, there is poles apart. There is no election actually. It's only money making and money sharing only. And this will destroy Naga future.
Sir, you have once said, democracy means someone will disagree. And based on this, I remember that in 1998 Nagaland election, when some of the regional political parties have decided not to participate, you have a single opposition MLA in the Nagaland Assembly, which many of our current generation MLAs may not be aware of, not to offend anybody, but based on this, your statements, your democracy was very democratic. What you would like to convey to our current generation MLAs?
It was like this. That time, Adam, he was commander-in-chief, and Bongding, he was colonel. They came to me, Timapur, at night, that we should boycott the election. But I said, why? Have you ever drawn up any agreement with them? Nothing. So I said, in 1952, Naga National Council have boycotted that election because that time Nagas were not committed to any election whatsoever, and that was relevant at that point of time. And since we are having elections since 1964, what benefit will you get by boycotting election now in 69? And you have not made any arrangement. Then he said, but your colleagues in the opposition party, they have agreed. I said, well, then I think they are telling lies. Because I have taken oath of allegiance to the Constitution of India in the name of God. So I don't like to play with God. And whatever I have taken oath of allegiance, I took it with my faith. And therefore, I will not change. And he said, but these fellows, these ministers, yes, they might have done it. But I pity them because they have now telling lies to the God from whom they have taken allegiance. So I'll go ahead. So he said, then we shall not be responsible. Yes, yes. And then you only blame me. Don't blame others. I'm a leader. So I take the full responsibility. If you need blame me, I'll take it. So in this way, I told them. And I gave a very simple example. One of my friends from my village, he's a Christian. And he married a Nepali Hindu. So the Nepali girl, her grandfather died 3 years ago. So according to Hindu, I think, faith, they have to shave the head. So that my man also shaved his head, thinking that he has married this Hindu girl. So it is exactly like that. Our boycott has been in 1952. Now you want to imitate the same thing now in 69. So I just told Adam also that time. Similarly, whatever is done in the past, I think you should not go on imitating that one also. Because situation change, problem change. So we have to function, act according to the situation in front of us. But whole trouble with Naga people, both underground and overground, maybe including me, most probably, that we talk about so much about the past. But many yesterdays Millions of yesterdays have gone by. Many tomorrows also have gone by. And what is left with you today? Only today is left with you. And present one is important, not the past, not the future. And if you have to predict the future, you act now. But Naga people who are not acting now. That's the whole strategy. I feel that we should recognize, accept the important significance of today, the present, instead of talking about the past. Because we are building up future. So take care of today or take care of present. Then everything will be all right.
Thank you very much. So, being recognized as one of the most democratic political person in our nation, what you would like to convey to our current generation MLAs, if at all they have to go through a situation like this with a single opposition MLA in this assembly, what do you like to advise our current generation MLAs?
Well, they should contest election for an ideology, not to become MLA or ministers. But today, if you see the kind of confusion now prevalent today, everyone would like to be only MLA. No one is talking about the future. So I would like to advise, especially the younger generation, if you have to join politics, have commitment to what you believe and work for that. So if our MLAs, if they are really contesting as politicians, remember that you are participating in this election to shape the destiny of our people, not for money making or money sharing. So the responsibility of each and every MLA is very heavy, because the problem today we are being faced is the incredible, very difficult. And therefore, I hope the new elected MLAs will have serious thinking on what kind of future we should frame up, what kind of future we should design. And in order to do this, let their mind be first clean up, let their mind be framed up first, and let their program be framed up first. Then only we can hope a little bit. Otherwise, it'll be like a new wine in old bottle.
Thank you very much. I remember your comment. You once said that being the true legend statesman, you have once mentioned about the compassionate effort to rehabilitate all the Naga underground leaders, and they should also emerge as heroes. So what you would like to convey to the government of India at this moment regarding underground leaders to be emerging as the heroes?
Before explaining that, why I have said this, we always talk about uniqueness of Naga history. And I'll tell you why are this uniqueness. When we were in a stage of primitiveness during British time, 1929 is, we were very backward that time. Even at that point of time, the leaders of Naga people, Naga Hills, realized that we are different. So we should not be exploited by others. So when Samin Commission came here for administrative reforms, we told them, our populations are small, we are backward, and if we are part of that reform, then Indian laws will be imposed on us, and we shall be minority, we shall have no voice, and therefore we had to preserve We have to protect our own identity, and therefore leave us from that administrative reforms. Either we are with you or leave us. So even at that time, Naga people have realized, or I think they are very sure about their identity. And is it that uniqueness? Where no other tribes have had that idea, we have that political idea. And it's a very unique. Now, when the entire colonial, they were asking for freedom after Second World War, we formed NNC in 1946, and along with the people of the colonial countries, including India, we also said we should be free. No other tribe in the country, they thought of that freedom, even at that point of time. Isn't that unique on the part of the Naga people? I think it is one of the uniqueness. And even after that, then in 1951, we talk about plebiscite. Even our graduates, teachers, they never knew the meaning of plebiscite. But Fizo, he said, we shall have plebiscite. And Naga people express their future, their intention, their opinion in that plebiscite, whether it was successful or not. Isn't that unique? So this is the uniqueness of Naga history. And if this is so, if Naga people have to achieve our underground brothers, on that basis they have pursued, and according to the current situation, then they have to draw up this agreement. They have fought, they have suffered, and therefore I always treat them as heroes. Yes, during this kind of revolution, many things might have taken place, but the goal is Naga political identity. And today, according to the situation, we have to now redefine our identity to preserve. And this is the way that they have drawn up their agreement. And therefore, whatever they have done, it is in the best interest of Naga people and the country. And therefore, I treat them as heroes. So why not? We rehabilitate them honorably so that they also feel that, yes, they have also done something for the country and the people. That's why I always, because of this uniqueness, it is being reflected by them. That's why we should treat them properly. That's my comment.
Sir, as one of the most senior legend statesman, politician of our country, being the 4-time chief minister and the 4 states governor, former union minister, and the parliamentarian affairs secretary to Jawaharlal Nehru ji, and also the Rajya Sabha MP and Lok Sabha MP. मैं आपसे एक चीज जानना चाहूंगी, आपके दिल में ऐसा कुछ है जो आपको लगता है कि आपको नागालैंड के लोग के लिए करना चाहिए, but on your personal level that which you have missed to do for the Nagas, is there anything as such, sir?
My very sincere and honest view about Nagaland is this. Sooner or later, Nagaland will be one of the shining states of the country because the dynamism we have, the energy we have, the potentialities we have not allowed them to shine. All are suppressed because of this non-solution of political problem. Once solution comes, then the real color of Naga people will be visible. The real voice of the Naga people will be heard. and the real activities, the energy of Naga people will be seen by the outside world. And therefore, let solution comes as soon as possible. Why should we linger? When our younger generation, with all their energy, with all their education, with all their knowledge, why should we not give them space? Once we give them space, Nagaland will surely grow, leaps and bounds, and catch up the rest of the people in the country, and people will definitely look to Nagaland as one of the stars of the Eastern region.
So is there anything that you feel that you have missed to do for the Naga as one of the most legend, statesman, politician of the country? Is there anything in your mind that you think that you have missed to do for our Naga?
Whatever within our capacity, under the circumstances, we have done it. Now it is entirely of the future leadership to recognize the changes in the country, the changes in the world, and even changes in the minds of our younger generation. If they can recognize that one, I think Nagaland will not lack in any way, and then Nagaland will surely progress. And therefore, we have to see these realities, both by the present leadership as well as by the younger generation. Thank you.
Sir, you have been appointed by Shri Jawaharlal Nehru ji, the former Prime Minister of India, in 1967 as the Parliamentary Affairs Secretary. Until now, in 2023, you have a very good, cordial relationship, personal relationship with our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji. And you even have a very good working relationship with Shri Narendra Modi ji, being the governor of the Gujarat state when he was the chief minister. So what do you want to appeal to Narendra Modi ji and the BJP government at Central, Amit Shah ji? Taking advantage of this personal relationship, what do you want to appeal to government for the Nagas?
I have been telling Prime Minister of India, Nagaland is part of the Indian family. You are the father, and therefore you have to treat this problem in a fatherly attitude. Because people, whether it is underground or from state government, many of them have experiences the leaders of India, and therefore they have to treat at par with the rest of the state and the country, so that we also grow equally as any other states in the country. That was my appeal.
Thank you very much. So coming back to the political, our country's political, I would like to know from you, being the congressman, what do you see for this Congress, what the Congress is trying to do for the nation, like Bharat Joro Yatra by Shri Rahul Gandhi ji? What do you see and what is your view on this Bharat Joro Yatra by this Congress Rahul Gandhi ji?
Since now I am a retired man, I don't understand even the language of that, so I don't have any comment.
Right. It's okay. Thank you very much. तो ये था हमारे साथ श्री डॉक्टर SC जामिर. डॉक्टर श्री SC जामिर एक ऐसे व्यक्ति है जो 1947 के हमारी देश आज़ाद होते ही जवाहरलाल नेहरू की पहला प्राइम मिनिस्टर से लेके आज के वर्ल्ड ग्लोबल लीडरशिप श्री प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जी की लीडरशिप में उन्होंने 55 साल के करीब से ज़्यादा हमारे देश के लिए पॉलिटिकल राजनीति में अपने सेवा दिया है. और अभी आज यहाँ उनसे खास बातचीत में कुछ अंक कहे, अंक सुने, बातें भी पता चला. और ऐसे ही हम आप लोगों के साथ ऐसे अलग अलग व्यक्तियों को आप लोगों के सामने लाते रहेंगे. तब तक के लिए हमारे साथ जुटे रहे, हमारे साथ बने रहे. मैं थोजो तलना क्रॉस सुदर्शन न्यूज़ चैनल के लिए विद कैमरा पर्सन चंदन के साथ दिमापुर नागालैंड से.